Hey guys, before we get into the video, I just want to clear up what the differences between names and storyboards. They're basically the same thing, but generally names tend to be bigger, and they're shown to, say, editors. If a comic artist has an editor, you show them the names, the storyboard, basically the same thing, but generally a little bigger, maybe for the editor to see clearer, and the editor changes things or suggests things, and you guys have a discussion, and basically you make the page better. Now in my case, where I do not have an editor, I am my own editor in a way. I have my storyboards, I look at my storyboards or my names, and fix things, try to figure out ways that I can convey my message or get the story out a little clearer and better and more effective and stuff like that. And those are some of the things that editors do for artists or comic artists or sequential artists. And that's the difference with names. Names are just generally bigger storyboards that are almost complete, but still extremely sketchy, but just for editing. And that's what storyboards are in some ways. But storyboards, there are different ways. It depends on what you're doing, really. Some storyboards are there for, like in animation storyboards, you used to see the scenes and how they look and get everybody on the same page and stuff like that. Basically, I just want to let you guys know that names and storyboards are not, they're very alike, very similar. You can do a whole lot more research, but I just want to let you know that they're almost the same thing. So, with that said, let's get into the video. And this video is just going to be basically about the storyboards on the manga and a quick update on the manga I'm working on. That's Apple Black. That's the main manga. Most of you already know all this stuff. I don't really want to talk too much, but basically I'm just gonna go straight into it. It's this video is for me talking about storyboards in general. I've made a video talking about this before, and back then it was about Candlejack, and I've learned a whole lot more about better methods that I might want to share with you guys. Really just how I do it, and I guess every artist or sequential artist, comic artist, manga artist, mangaka, whatever you guys want to call it, every artist has their own style of doing things, so I guess I'll just share with you guys how I approach storyboarding. First of all, for those of you who are not familiar with storyboarding, it's just basically a blueprint of how the main manga is supposed to look. You guys, just to have an idea of what the manga is going to look like, and the storyboards are here. What I do basically is I get the narration down. I have a whole bunch of stuff just going on around here. Maybe another person might not be able to read this stuff. It's really just for me to read. No one else will understand it, so I know I will understand it if I read it, and that's all that matters. Every artist will have their own way of doing things, but I get the narration down of at least what happens in the chapter, and I get the dialogue down, and I use both of them to decide how the storyboard is going to look. And the storyboard is basically the blueprint of how the manga is going to look. So however the storyboard looks is how the page is going to look. So you storyboard every page. And storyboarding also applies to, they do it in music videos, they do it in movies. When directors wanna know how the movie's gonna look, maybe from a specific angle. They just play with things. They do storyboards in cartoons, lots of things. You can Google all this stuff if you still have questions, or leave questions in the description below. And what I do is, first of all, making storyboards, you have to be extremely thoughtful. You want to know, you want to show the character expression, behavior, and all that stuff. You have to think of the camera angles. You have to, you want to imagine the scene in your head and try to show it to the viewer the best possible way. The best way you think. It will show everything you want to show. You have to think of, like I said, the expression, the angle you want to the camera shot from, and what's going on and all that stuff. You want to show maybe if a character is surprised or something, you want to show that. So all that and a whole lot more. Okay, now why do we make storyboards? Quickly, I just wanted to let me give an example now. Imagine if you're just inking, you're not storyboarding, and you have, let me say, a 30-page manga, right? And you know what happens. Maybe let's just say you know what happens. You have the narration down and you have the dialogue down, and you just no storyboarding. You're just going into it, and you're just going with the sketching and the inking of the actual page. And let's say you get to the 10th page and you want to change something, or you've passed the 10th page and maybe at the 15th page you want to change something, and you've already created the 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, and the 14th pages, based on what's going to happen in the 15th page. I mean, you can't go back unless you're willing to throw away those 10 pages, and that's a waste of time and energy and all that. So the storyboard really helps you see everything before you go into doing anything. That's why they do make blueprints and all that stuff. There are probably more reasons. I'm not an architect or anything. I'm just using that to give a good example. It saves time. It gives, it organizes you basically. And when you storyboard, you also know how many pages they are. You use that to, let's say for a contest and they want 32 pages. It helps you organize, the manga into, let's say, 32 pages, and it also helps you cut out things that you might, consider unnecessary in the manga, and just make it, quicker. And you might not just want to do that for a contest on a normal basis. You might want to do that for an actual chapter. You want to cut out, things that are unnecessary, maybe to fit a page limit that you have, or just to make the manga smoother and easier to read, not too long, not too short. You don't want to skip. You show every panel, very smoothly. All these things. You also have to. What I do sometimes is I also read other mangas and try to study how they, how the artist thinks in situations like that, because you want your manga to be smooth and you want everything to go nicely. And imagine if you already started inking and maybe you've inked like 7 pages and all 7 pages seem stupid, so you're just gonna go over and over again. These are basically the storyboards for Apple Black, and these are just building designs, so I'm just taking my time with everything I'm doing. Just don't jump into a manga. You want to take your time. Character designs are not the main thing. They're not the only things to keep in mind. Prop design, building designs, and the setting and all that. You have to cool down and draw all those things and know them almost by hand at least. I mean, they're almost like characters of their own. Let's say a building that would be regularly seen in the manga. You wanna make it. It has to have its own character. It's not something you just draw to go. And that's one of the problems I had with some of my previous mangas, especially Candlejack. They didn't really have that much, building design. Maybe I touched the character designs and stuff like that, but prop design, everything has to have its design, especially if it's regular in the manga. So these are some building designs, some more storyboards. Don't want to show you guys too much. Hopefully you guys can't see anything through the camera. But what I do is, you have the dialogue and part of the narration, and I use that to storyboard. And if I see a mistake here, you can fix it here. Imagine if it's an inked page, it's difficult to fix. You can't fix that. So what I do is, when I see a mistake, I just write it down, and when I'm doing the main inking, I'm going to, make that edit. And when I look at the whole manga, I, review the whole manga right here in, in this pages, in this, just little boxes, and imagine it like I'm reading the book. And if everything goes according to plan, then I go into the inking, and boom, it's better, and also it's gonna make your inking, sketching and inking, all that stuff faster, because you really want to do all your thinking here and not while you're inking. That rhymes, people. That rhymes. These are some building designs that I had in mind. I'm still working on them. Really detailed and stuff. I'm really gonna give my all into this manga. So these are all things you might want to think about as well for those of you who are making your own mangas. Everything has to have their own design. It's basically design, and I guess it could be considered part of the storyboards. I guess not really. It's just character design, setting design, prop design. Everything has its design, and you want to keep this theme unless your theme is themeless. I don't know if that makes sense. Right now in Apple Black, I've storyboarded 20 pages, and I'm still going strong. I'm a little slow now because of school, and I'm actually in kind of deep shit recently. Don't really want to talk about it that much right now, but hopefully I get through it, and I'll be back on working on the storyboards and all that. So yeah, that's basically it about storyboards, and I hope you guys at least learned something, or I hope I helped somehow.
Hey guys, don't forget to like and favorite this video. Subscribe for more if you want more. Click on the annotations for the videos that are featured. You can learn stuff from my tutorials, or learn just a whole lot more about Apple Black as a whole. For details on what Saturday AM is and what it what's about, there'll be links in the description for you guys to go check that out. Leave a comment on the video you want to see next, whether it's a tutorial video or a video you want from me explaining anything about the manga if you have read it. And if you haven't read the manga, there's a link for you to go read it in the description below. The description or the about section below will also have links to things that you might find interesting. Facebook page, Whyt Manga Facebook page, Saturday AM Facebook page, or you can tweet at me, or you can just tweet, spread the word about the manga. Any support is much appreciated. The hashtag Apple Black. Or just tweet at me. So yeah, thanks for watching this video. This is Whyt Manga, and I'm out.